You've been lied to, you've been tricked, and you're being lured into a trap. The federal government is not your friend, and Wall Street hedge funds do not have your best interests at heart. We are witnessing a conspiracy at the highest levels of government. It's time to wake up before it's too late. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm your host, and this is Loose Threads, a sub-series of The Unified Theory. By now, you've probably heard about the scandal that's been developing with regards to Reddit's Wall Street Bets, GameStop, and Robinhood. If you missed my last video, I suggest you give it a watch. It explains what happened to the GameStop price and the damage retail investors were able to inflict on Melvin Capital, a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund that got caught with its pants down by a bunch of small-time investors. In that video, I mentioned the fact that there wasn't any legal means to stop what was happening. Well, it appears that they have chosen to stop it through illegal means instead. Yesterday afternoon, Robinhood stopped allowing its users to purchase shares of GME, giving Melvin Capital time to cover their positions and stop the bleeding. During the time that purchases were suspended, sales of GME were still allowed, and as a result, the stock's price predictably suffered a severe drop in price. Melvin Capital and other over-leveraged financial institutions seized the opportunity to close their positions, but not before taking a combined loss of over $70 billion. Small investors immediately called foul. Robinhood's decision to halt purchases while continuing to allow sales is blatant market manipulation. It's illegal, and it was a move specifically targeted to protect the hedge funds at the expense of the retail investor. But why would Robinhood, whose user base consists of small retail investors, want to damage their brand in this way? Well, as usual, it all becomes perfectly clear when you follow the money. Robinhood offers free trades to its users. The app is free to download, and users can make an unlimited number of stock swaps without paying a dime. How then does Robinhood make money? Well, it turns out that Robinhood users aren't the company's customers. They're its product, or more specifically, their data is. Robinhood collects data on the trades retail investors are making and sells that data to institutions, allowing them to take positions in the market that benefit them. For example, if the data shows that the market has a majority negative view of a particular stock, as evidenced by an abundance of retail short positions, the institutions may decide to buy up shares of that stock and pump its price, especially if the numbers indicate that the retail short positions are over-leveraged. Sound familiar? Robinhood's largest customer is a hedge fund called Citadel LLC. Now here's where it gets interesting. A couple days into the Wall Street Bets GME buying spree on Monday, January 25th, just as Melvin Capital was on the verge of going bankrupt, Citadel teamed up with Point72 Asset Management and invested $2.75 billion into Melvin Capital, essentially bailing them out and saving them from going out of business and defaulting on their debts. But it gets better. On Thursday, January 28th, a Reddit post from someone claiming to be a Robinhood employee claimed that Robinhood founder Vladimir Tenev had received calls from Sequoia Capital and the White House that pressured them into closing trading on GameStop stock. Sequoia Capital has, of course, denied these allegations. But what reason would the White House have for pressuring Robinhood to halt trading? Well, it turns out that Janet Yellen, Biden's appointed Secretary of the Treasury, was paid $800,000 in speaking fees in October 2020 by Citadel LLC. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was quick to defend Yellen, claiming that, as one of the world's renowned experts on markets and the economy, it shouldn't be a surprise that Yellen was paid nearly $1 million to give her perspective and advice to Wall Street before she came into office. I guess it also shouldn't come as a surprise that Jen Psaki's husband, Jeff Psaki, was one of the lucky people that got to hear Ms. Yellen's brilliant insights firsthand, since he just happens to be a portfolio manager for, you guessed it, Citadel LLC. We are witnessing a conspiracy at the highest levels of government to defraud the American people and line the pockets of the same billionaire hedge fund managers that caused the 2008 economic collapse, for which the American taxpayer was left holding the bag. Well, what are we going to do about it? Here's a start. In the description, I've put links to the phone numbers and email addresses of senators and congresspeople from all 50 states. Call them, email them, and demand that they open a RICO investigation into these events. I have also removed all my funds from my bank account and stopped payment on all lines of credit associated with major banks. I will neither be filing nor paying my taxes until such time as a full investigation into these matters has been concluded. I refuse to participate any longer in a system that has become so blatantly corrupt and whose arrogance has convinced them that they can get away with whatever they like without fear of reprisal. There is strength in numbers, and if enough of us simply opt out of a system that we all hate anyways, it will have no alternative but to crumble and fade away. Thanks so much for listening. I'm your host, and this has been
The Unified Theory.